Go look at your last grocery receipt. Not the total the coffee, the ground beef. Whatever you paid last month, I want you to remember it. Because come the holidays, you're going to wish you'd bought more of it when you had the chance. Here's the thing about grocery prices that nobody tells you. They don't creep up evenly all year. They move in seasons. And the big season for price increases is the fall, right when the holidays start and you're too busy to notice. The new prices get set over the summer, they land on the shelf in October, and by the time you catch it, it's done. I've been feeding a family on a tight budget for over 25 years, and I've watched this happen every single autumn. Some years, it's small. This year, it's not. Coffee, beef, chocolate, olive oil, the increases are already in the pipe. They're coming whether we like it or not. So today, I've got 10 things I'd buy before October 1st. Not a panic list. Every one of these keeps for months, some for years, and every one of them is either going up or already on its way. And the rule is, the same as always in this house, you only buy ahead on what you'll actually use. A pantry full of stuff you don't eat isn't savings. It's clutter you paid for. Number 1 on this list is the worst of the bunch. The price on it has done something I've never seen in my life. So stay with me. Number 10, canned tomatoes. Every jar of spaghetti sauce, every pot of chili, every soup you'll make between now and April starts with a canned tomato. Here's why the timing matters. Tomatoes get packed once a year at the end of summer. What's on the shelf right now is last year's pack at last year's price. The new pack rolls in this fall grown at this year's costs, packed at this year's costs, and sitting in a can that costs more to make than it used to because the metal itself got more expensive. Canned tomatoes are good for 2-3 years easy. Count how many cans you go through in a month, multiply it out to spring, and buy that. The store brand is fine, it's the same tomato. Number 9, pasta. And I'll throw rice in with it. A lot of the pasta on American shelves comes over from Italy, and anything coming across the water is costing more to bring in now. Even the domestic brands drift up when the imports do, because they can. Dry pasta lasts about forever if you keep it sealed and dry. Rice. The same white rice will outlast all of us. $1 a box now versus $1.50 in December doesn't sound like much until you remember how many boxes a family eats in a winter. This is the cheapest insurance on the whole list. Number 8, sugar. Plain white sugar. It has been climbing all year faster than most of the store, actually. And here's the part that matters for your calendar. Sugar demand goes through the roof from October to December. Everybody's baking. The stores know it, the companies know it, and the price is never friendlier in November than it was in September. That's just how it goes. Sugar never spoils. Never. Keep it dry and sealed and it's good in 10 years. So buy your whole holiday baking supply now at September prices and you're done. Brown sugar and powdered sugar too. Same reason, same shelf life, pretty much. Now, quick thing while we're on the pantry. Buying ahead of the price, storing it right, making it last. I've got a whole book of exactly this. Every method I use to run this house for less, all written down in one place. It's on my website. The link's right below the video. Go grab it. I won't bring it up again. Number 7, chocolate. If you bake for the holidays, listen close, because this one's got a trick in it. Cocoa went through the roof a couple years back, worst prices anybody'd ever seen, and even though the crops recovered some, what you pay hasn't come back down. The candy companies are raising prices again right now, ahead of the holiday rush, because they know you'll pay it in December. And watch what else they're doing, because it's sneakier than the price. The bars are getting smaller. The bags of chips are getting lighter, same package, same price, less chocolate. Flip the bag over and read the ounces. That number's been shrinking for 2 years and they're hoping you don't look. Here's the trick. Chocolate chips and baking chocolate freeze beautifully. A year in the freezer, no trouble at all. So buy your Christmas baking chocolate in September, put it in the freezer, and let everybody else pay December prices. Number 6, olive oil. Almost all the olive oil in this country comes from Spain, Italy, and Greece, and the cost of bringing it in has jumped. The bottle that was $13 is going on $16 in a lot of stores already, and there's no reason to think it stops there. Now, honesty, because I won't sell you on something that won't work. Olive oil does not keep forever. It goes off. Buy what you'll use in a year. For most families, that's 2, maybe 3 of the big bottles and not a drop more. Keep it in a dark cupboard, away from the stove, lids tight. Cool and dark, that's the whole secret. Sunlight and heat are what turn it, so don't leave it sitting pretty on the counter by the window. And if olive oil's mostly for cooking in your house anyway, plain vegetable oil hasn't moved near as much. There's no shame in it. Save the olive oil for where you can taste it. Number 5, orange juice. Most of the world's orange juice comes out of Brazil. The Florida groves have been beat up by disease and storms for years, so we lean on imports whether we know it or not. And imports from down there have gotten a lot more expensive to land. But don't buy the jugs. The jugs are mostly water and they're gone in a week. Buy the frozen concentrate cans. It's the same juice with the water taken back out. It costs less per glass, and it sits in your freezer for a year or more. My mother never bought a jug of orange juice in her life, and now you know why. The can takes 30 seconds in a pitcher. Number 4, butter. Every fall, like the leaves turning, butter goes up. Holiday baking season. The stores know exactly when you need it most, and the price finds its way up right on schedule. Some years there's a loss leader sale around Thanksgiving, but you can't plan a budget around hoping. Here's what most people don't know. Butter freezes for a year with no harm done at all. Leave it right in the box, drop the boxes in a freezer bag, done. When you see it under $4 a pound between now and October, buy 6 or 8 pounds. That's your pie crusts, your cookies, your Christmas morning, all bought at the cheap end of the year. Number 3, frozen vegetables. Fresh produce is one of the categories climbing faster than the rest of the store. And a good chunk of our winter produce comes over the border, which isn't getting cheaper either. Come January, fresh anything is going to sting. Frozen vegetables are the answer, and they always were. They're packed within hours of picking right now, at harvest when the crop is cheapest, so half the time they've got more good left in them than the fresh ones that rode a truck for a week. The bags on the shelf today were packed at this summer's costs. The bags in February won't be. Load the freezer with the plain ones, no sauce, no seasoning. You're paying triple for a tablespoon of sauce you could make yourself. And while we're standing at the cold cases, one thing you should not stockpile, and I'll say it plainly because everybody else on the internet seems to be yelling the opposite, eggs. Egg prices have finally come back down and they're expected to keep easing. Don't buy 18 dozen eggs. Buy your normal eggs and be glad something in the store is going the right direction for once. There. Somebody had to say it. Number 2, beef. The American cattle herd is the smallest it's been since before I was born. That's not a rumor. That's the count. It takes years to raise a herd back up, so this isn't a bad month that blows over. It's a shortage with a long tail, and it means beef keeps climbing through next year no matter what. Ground beef has already broken records over $6 a pound in plenty of places for the plain stuff. So here's what I do. When I catch a sale and there are still sales, watch the weekly flyer I buy big. Then it gets worked the minute I'm home. Brown a batch and freeze it in 1-pound bags, ready to be tacos or chili on a weeknight. The rest gets portioned raw, flat in freezer bags flat, so it stacks and thaws quick. Ground beef holds in the freezer 3-4 months, no problem. Squeeze the air out, that's what matters, and look hard at chuck roast. Cheaper per pound than the fancy cuts, and a slow afternoon turns it into 3 meals. The tougher, cheaper cuts are where the value's hiding right now. Always were. And number 1, coffee. I have watched grocery prices my whole adult life, and I have never seen anything like what coffee has done. The can of ground coffee that was $6 a year ago is pushing $8 in my store. Bad harvests in the countries that grow it, warehouses running low, and import costs stacked on top, every bit of it lands in your cart. And the increases are still working their way to the shelf. What you see today isn't the end of it. Coffee keeps. Unopened cans and bags of ground coffee are fine for a year or more in a cool, dark cupboard. Whole beans even longer, and you can freeze those. So, if your house runs on coffee like mine does, and mine surely does buy 3 months' worth now, maybe 6, that one move alone might save you more than everything else on this list put together. One warning while you're standing in that aisle, instant coffee is the worst of the whole bunch right now, costs more to bring in than the regular kind, if you can believe it. If instant's your habit, this is a fine time to learn to like the drip pot. So that's the 10. Canned tomatoes, pasta and rice, sugar, chocolate, olive oil, frozen orange juice, butter, frozen vegetables, beef, coffee. Now, let me tell you why this all lands in October. Because it's not weather and it's not bad luck. The food companies set their price increases with the stores months ahead of time, and they aim them at the fourth quarter on purpose. October through December is when you buy the most and pay the least attention. You've got a list, a mile long, kids underfoot, a dinner to put on for 12. You are not standing in the aisle comparing the price per ounce like you do in March. They know that. That's why the bag gets 2 ounces lighter in October, and the price goes up in November. It's not a conspiracy. It's just a calendar, and they're reading yours. Well, you can read it too. That's all this video is. So here's your first step, and it's small. This week, before your regular shop, pick just 2 things off this list. I'd say coffee and butter, but you know your house and buy double. That's it. Don't blow the budget. Don't fill the garage. 2 things, doubled. Every trip between now and October, and you'll slide into the holidays already ahead. And tell me in the comments what's moved the most at your store. Coffee? Beef? Something I didn't cover? And if you've got a storage trick your mother taught you, put it down there, because I read every 1.5 of what I know came from people like you. Next time, I'll show you what I do with all that sale ground beef, how I stretch 1 pound to feed this family twice, and nobody at my table has ever once complained. You'll want that one before the holidays. See you then.